Hello, George.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Jim.
Good morning.
Good morning, Roy. You're on mute, Jim.
Yeah, there we go. Hi.
There you go. All right. How are you? And Ailish?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good. Good to see you.
Hello, George.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. You doing all right?
Great, great. I'd like to
know,
say the same, but I'm kind of in a bind here physically. I can't leave my house, but that's the way it goes.
Well, why
That
can't
long
you leave
COVID
your
Yeah. So the Zoom meetings are great for me. Yeah.
George? Why can't you leave your house? Because you were going to VA doctor's appointments.
Well, I got a VA appointment at 2:30 today. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you are leaving. You're going to doctor's appointments.
Well, Agent Orange related.
Mhm.
I'm getting a disability, and that's terrific. Otherwise, I'd be living under a bridge somewhere.
Mhm. Sad to say, you and a lot of vets.
Yeah.
Very sad to say.
Yeah.
But who's running the meeting today? I don't think it's me. Sam should be here. Denise is our president. She's in the Netherlands, but happens to be spending a month touring around Scotland right now. So I doubt if she'll be joining us. So.
That's right.
And Jim, you decided not to go to Singapore?
No, she's there, I think.
No, Jula is, but not
Jula.
Denise. Yeah, not Denise. No, I said you didn't go to Singapore though. You didn't.
No.
Yeah. I love Singapore. I've only been there once, but I was there to teach a class in like 2006, I think. I can't quite remember, but I'd love to go back. It's a cool place.
I'd like to be there.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah, I've never been to one of the international conventions, and someday I might try to go, but seems like I always have a conflict with it. Sounds really fun.
Well, it's just amazing to see all the faces of Rotary in one place. It's just
And all the cultural differences and all the displays of things. There's Sam.
exactly.
Sam, you got a shirt with a collar today. You must have important meetings besides us.
Yeah, a little respect, No, I don't. I don't actually. I just this is the only wore it for 2 hours Sunday at church shirt that I was hanging up in the closet.
Oh, dear.
Well, I've been trying to figure out how to pay for my lunch, and I can't find out how to do it on this eco-friendly thing. Mystery to me.
It's all digital. It's all digital. We'll send you a snack link, and you
Well,
can.
that sounds yummy.
Uh,
Let's see.
Sam, we need to get together and figure out what's going on with the treasury stuff, because I'm the incoming treasurer and I don't know anything at this point. So we'll talk offline.
Okie dokie.
I was fighting being treasurer. It's the last job I want in Rotary. Absolutely the last job. Nobody else is doing it.
Says with a smile.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, well, you need to keep being foundation chair.
I haven't done anything with that either. I'm doing the newsletter. I just got so many balls. And then I just signed up to be membership chair for the League of Women Voters of the Space Coast. And I do their newsletter. And I'm still working. So,
You're still going to
So
Africa?
you're keeping busy.
No, I haven't been to Africa I went in 2018 with my dad. He wanted to go one more time. He was 90. Well, 2018 was the year he turned 90. He's now 96. He's going to drive down from North Georgia next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, he says. He drove down a couple weeks ago, one day, 10.5 hours, turned around the next week and went back. It's kind of scary, but he's a good driver and he's sharp as a tack. So why not? What are you going to do?
Sounds like good genes.
Hi, Sam. excuse me, I got Susie, I just got an email the other day from Julia. And she said to mail her your half-year dues to her, which I did.
Okay,
I guess we lost our treasurer. I don't know. I'm not sure.
well,
Is that the case?
yeah,
Uh,
we haven't seen or heard from her in ages, so I'm taking over. I just haven't done it
Jula,
much yet.
yeah, technically
Just
technically,
kind of filling in.
Jula's our treasurer today,
Yeah,
right
okay.
now. Yep, technically, until July 1. And then we'll have elections, but I think we only have one nominee.
Anybody wants it, I'm happy to hand it off. It's like a good job for Dave Andrews. He likes doing things like money and watching money and things like that. But no,
Um,
No, is right. No.
well, should we
Let's
get
start.
started?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go offline for a minute and try to eat something. I've got a lot going on today, so I'm here. I'm just gonna be off video for a few minutes.
okay.
Good afternoon, Sam. This is Neil. I'm online with you guys
Hey, Neil.
today.
Hey, Neil, welcome.
Thank you.
All
I'll be
right,
on
well,
mute.
okay, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and start. Our president is away this week, so we'll go ahead and begin our call with this one. I'm gonna do this just to make a quick break. Give me 1 second. Ah, shucks. Not the owner of the call. I was gonna try to break the recording, but yeah, not going to waste my time. I'll clip it later. So we'll go ahead and begin the recording now. And this will be posted to YouTube for anybody who can't make the call. Let's go ahead and begin with the four-way test. So if you're online and you want to unmute, you can do so now. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the
Is
truth?
it the truth?
Is it fair to all
fair to all
concerned?
All concerned?
Will it build
Will it build
goodwill and
goodwill and
better
better
friendships?
friendships?
And better friendships.
Will it be
Will it be
beneficial to all
beneficial to all
concerned?
Beneficial
concerned?
to all concerned.
All right, rock and roll. First things first, any announcements for the good of the order? Any announcements? Let me know with a hand or unmute. All right. Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and jump right in to birthdays and anniversaries.
Hey, Sam, just real quick. I'm sorry on the mute. Just a reminder, and I see you've signed up for the June 29th learning for Julie's incoming year at Port St. Lucie. We just want to continue to advertise for people to sign up for that. It's free and you can sign up on DACDB.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. We also have we released the news on the another Merritt Island event, right? Is that something I should share, or that's just for PEs?
Oh, sorry. No, absolutely share it.
Okay, all right. So I'll put that, Susie. I'll give you the dates and the notices. But we have another Merritt Island event coming up for the incoming year for presidents and presidents-elects and anybody else who might want to join in. So I'll share that as well.
Okay.
So birthdays and anniversaries. Any birthdays and anniversaries? All right, good. My little boy's birthday is coming up, but I'll share that one until next week. Let's go to Sad Buck so we can finish on a high note. I love it. Nothing to be said about. Happy Bucks.
Well, I'm happy my dad's gonna be able to drive down again, although he drives me a little crazy when he's here, but 96, I'm hoping I got all those genes. So, it's always fun to have him around. So he'll be here Saturday. My birthday's on the 5th, so I'll do a birthday dollar. I'm the 4th one here. So, cool. That's the only thing I have to be happy about today, I think.
Good. All right. Anybody else?
I had a very nice visit with my daughter and son-in-law this past weekend. We took the Bright Line train from Orlando down to Miami, spent the night, and came back yesterday. Had Cuban sandwiches and explored Miami. It's very interesting.
I love it.
Great
I
time.
love it. What's the nearest stop for you? I got to get all the way to I get it all the way to West Palm. You go up the line or down the line when you jump on?
We did, but we rode it from Orlando and back.
Oh,
Down-
great.
Down there, spent the night and came back.
Oh, that's great.
It
That's
was
great.
really very pleasant.
Yeah.
Jim, how was it?
It was right on time, clean, smooth, not crowded. It
Hmm.
was impressive.
No
Oh, wow.
driving stress either, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's not the fastest way to go from here to Miami, but it's sure glad I wasn't driving back at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you though, Jim, when they do open the Cocoa Station, which is coming probably 2-3 years from now, that'll make a big difference also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You could then
Yeah.
realistically go down to Miami for lunch and come home if you want to, or
Mhm.
go
Exactly. Yeah.
football game or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still sore. We were we were hoping Port St. Lucie. We were like hoping Port St. Lucie would come in with a stop, but no dice. No dice. All right. Well, cool. I think that will do it. And so I'm not sure, Jim, if we had planned to have a formal introduction for you, but I think sounds like a lot of you know Jim already. I do not, but it's a pleasure to meet you. I think if we just want to turn it over to you, that's probably the easiest thing to do. Does that work?
Sure.
All right.
Well, thank you for having me. I think the reason I'm here is to talk about a global grant project. And global grant project is in Uganda. And before I get there, I want to back up a little bit because I'm not sure. I know most of the folks on this. I don't know Roy. I don't know Dave. Everyone else probably has heard, and we haven't met officially Sam. Everyone else has probably heard me at least once talk about foundation and grants, but let's talk about what a grant is just briefly before we get into the specifics, because the foundation grants are really the way that Rotarians are able to spend the money that we give and do good in the world through people we'll never meet or who have never met. It just was just before we got started, I was looking at today's Rotarian, and Barry Rassin is reporting that in 22-23 there were 1,098 global grants, and with a minimum budget of $30,000. So you do the math on that when you know many of them are much more. You're talking about many millions of dollars that are being spent to benefit people around the world. 1,098 grants. But these grants only happen if Rotarians make them happen. They don't just pop up out of Rotary Foundation or Rotary International. They happen because Rotary clubs in 2 different countries get together and say, let's see if we can change some lives. And that's really where we are in this case. We started out, our club was, we have a member named Eric Turner, and he and his wife have been the founders of and supporters of a nonprofit called Solar Light for Africa. And they work primarily in Uganda, and they go into villages which have no electricity and they put solar lights in. So we thought maybe wouldn't it be cool if we could come up with some kind of a grant project in Uganda that might support this effort. And one of the key things in any global grant is finding a host, a club in the country where you want to do a grant. And so that is really probably the most important part of any grant is the host club, because they're the ones on the ground who do the committee assessment. They ultimately control the money. They file the reports. So it's really important that you have a club that you can work with and trust, because the international sponsor, which in this case is Eau Gallie, has a fiduciary responsibility. So if our project is $100,000 and $100,000 is appropriately reported, we end up being responsible. So it's an important thing. When Charlene, which is Eric's wife, was in Uganda, she visited a club somewhere and came back and said, I wouldn't partner with them for lunch, much less for a global grant project. But Pam Russell, our district foundation chair, happened to be at our club the following week. And she had spent time in Uganda, I think is on a vocational exchange team, or may have been a global grant. Not global grant, but Group Say exchange years ago. Anyway, she had contacts there, and through her, we made contact with the Kampala North Rotary Club. And this group is by far the sharpest Rotary club, at least as far as grants I've ever run across. It's just astounding what they do. And so not only through the recommendation of Pam, but also through we've had conference calls with them, and just greatly impressed with this club and their members. They understand grants, they understand needs assessment. They have a whole system, because in Uganda, you walk out your door and you have projects. You look left and right, you've got projects. So they have a system for identifying projects, screening projects, prioritizing projects, and then funding projects. So very impressive group. So I don't know how to do screen share. Is there a way I can screen share something? A silence goes up from the crowd. Host disabled participant screen sharing. Okay, I will screen share.
We can, I think, Sam, I don't think anyone logged in as host. I'll log out and log back in. I'll be right back. So just give me a second.
No problem.
Let me tell you about Susie. Really now.
Hey, Jim, just as a point, I think our club, Rockledge, is looking to join you guys on this global grant, if I'm not mistaken.
You already have.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, thank you.
You are part of the project.
Which is great.
It is. We're so happy to have you, and it's a mushroom, and I'll explain that as we go along when Susie gets back.
Are there other clubs that have joined also yet in the area?
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, there's 9 clubs from our district. Plus, we've got clubs from California. It looks like we've got clubs from India. These folks in Uganda this is not their first rodeo, and they've got contacts all around the world, literally. The board of trustees for this project I'm going to share with you, which was installed, I think in 2021, was installed by the sitting president of Rotary International. So these folks are heavy hitters. And so there's clubs, literally, we've got Douglas arranged for 3 clubs in Brazil to be contributing DDF. We've got the clubs from all over. I think we have 5 districts involved contributing DDF. So it's really mushroomed from Eau Gallie and Kampala North to a multi-district, multi-club project, which to me is really exciting, because we've got literally Rotary International right in this microcosm.
Jim, I made you the host. So
excited.
Jim, I made you the host, so you should be able to do screen share.
Okay. All I need to do then is figure out how to do it.
Just down at the bottom, it should say share screen.
Okay.
I have all the icons, so it's usually green.
Oh, this is okay. There we go.
There you go.
Can y'all see that?
It's coming up. There we go. Yep, perfect.
All right. This project we're involved in is part of a bigger project. I share this with you because this is not your typical thing. I haven't run into anything like this, and I've been fiddling around with these things for many, many years. The Uganda, where is the beginning of it? A number of districts in Africa got together and came up with this concept of creating centers for training. That's where this Rotary, you pronounce it, Susie, you know it better than I do, Bahana Poa Village comes from.
I think it's probably Vihana Poa. I don't really know.
Okay. It means kids are cool. And these are popping up all around Africa as a result of a number of district governors that got together back in 2017. The Sam Awari one is one that is put together by the Kampala North Club for their district. And it's a $13 million potential project. This is the board of trustees I was mentioning to you that was installed by the president of Rotary International at the time. So it's really a big project. And the concept is to basically vocational train and change minds as far as you have to try to be a professor. You don't have to go through school and get sort of mindset we have in this country, that you have to have a college education and to be a success. Whereas we know that's not true, and more we're hopefully getting away from vocational training when we really need to get back towards it. So this is part of a big project to form these various Wahana Poa, which this is one of. The master plan looks like this. This one club is put together this $13 million projected project. And the particular project we're involved in is, where are they? They have a term for them, the skill. Well, I can't find it right now. They're basically multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose skilling, there's multi-purpose skilling rooms.
That's
Just,
it. That's it.
Just partway down
Oh, there it
the
is, right
left
there.
side, right there.
Yeah. So what this project is part of is a multi-purpose skilling room for carpentry. And there was a project. I'm going to see if I can get out. How do I get out of this particular screen and go to another one?
Well, it depends on how you decided to share your screen.
Can you all see that?
All we see is the physical master plan of the Sam Awari Rotary Vihana Polovich. So what are you trying to share? Just another document or something?
Another document, right.
If you hold your Alt key and press Tab, it should show you lots of other screens available to you. And just keep holding the Alt key down and then tab across to the one you want. Is it working? Do you see the one you need?
Alt and then what?
Alt and Tab. So hold the Alt key down and then press Tab, and you'll see a screen that comes. See all the screens, and if you keep holding Alt and press Tab, it'll take you. You'll see it highlight the one that you want to go to. So I don't know how many screens you might have open.
Did it change?
Not yet. But then you have to pick the one you want and then let up on the Alt key.
Okay, we want to go over here.
It depends on how you shared the screen when you shared the screen on Zoom. So it's not, have you let it up yet? Have you let up the Alt key? Why don't I just get out of sharing and go back to it? Yes, so go get out of sharing. And then what's going to happen is when you come up with the share screen, it'll highlight the one in the upper left, it's basically share all my screens if I want you to. So just leave it there and then do that. Okay. And now now we're good. Okay. Okay. This is the summary of the project that this grant is looking to support. And it basically explains the beginning of it. They use grants the club raised the money and built the building. Then they use Rotary grants to provide the infrastructure of water and power. And in response to the question of the budget, this explains how this scholarship is really not part of the grant. It is hoped that there's an NGO in Canada or some process in Canada where if we can get enough funds involved, that they'll provide scholarships for the carpentry students. But this is the basic budget. But here you get down to the funding. And you'll see the list of clubs involved. We've got Kampala. These are clubs from our district. And then you get down to some other, wait a minute, which one is this? Oh, this is the wrong one. Isn't it? Oh, this isn't the one I was just looking at. I won't take the time to go to the other one, but anyway, there's 9 clubs in our district involved. There's a club from California, and then there's all these other districts involved. And then for some other clubs have come in and put in some cash. So that at the budget I just saw just a minute ago, but cannot find right. Let me try one more time just to find it because it's pretty impressive. I can. No, that's not what you want to see my bills. Oh, I won't waste the time on it, but
anyway, the budget started out when I first started working with TUSU, and the committee over there was $67,000. Now through all these other clubs getting involved and through other districts getting involved, the last I saw was 94,000. We're at 94,000 and some change for this grant project, and it expands because the demand is unlimited. So it is an expandable grant to be able to cover different people that can participate in the program. So that's a beauty of this grant, and this working in conjunction with the prior grant. So that's kind of an overview. It's important to understand that global grants have to have several features. First, they must be sustainable. In other words, there has to be a plan for maintaining the equipment, for ensuring that the people know, training in the equipment, so that you don't hand a saw to a kid who has no idea how to use it. He's got to be trained in using it. And that's, of course, part of a grant. And then maintaining the equipment, not only the shop equipment, but the kits that they have to go out. They'll probably, most of them open cottage businesses, become independent contractors, but apparently there's a huge demand and virtually no supply. So the sustainability, yes.
One of the rules of these grants is we, as Rotarians, Rotary projects don't invest in buildings, correct? We can invest, we do equipment and training and things, but no actual physical structure other than equipment.
Right. No, you have no bricks and mortar, exactly. And so they built that on their own. And it also has to be measurable. So there'll be measurable parameters that they come up with. And for 3 years, the Rotarians on the ground will be filing annual reports measuring the various parameters of how many students come through, how many jobs they get, how much money they have generated for themselves, et cetera. So, the measurability is an important aspect of every global grant. And, the minimum budget is.
Jim, can I ask a quick question? My
Sure.
screen froze up when you were showing the budget. How close are you to the $30,000 right now?
We blew past that a long time ago, Neil.
Thank you. I missed that. Thank you.
Yeah, we currently have, I think it was $94,000 or $96,000 committed between club cash, district designated funds, and then the match from the World Fund. Now the worlds have changed since a lot of those folks have been doing this for a long. It used to be the World Fund would match club cash. They don't do that anymore. They just match DDF. So that's why it's so important to have the DDF. And it's important to have club cash, because in our district, we don't get DDF unless we have the club cash. So it's a symbiosis of various things, but the rules have changed. So those are basically, that's an overview of the project. It is a small but important. This is the first multiple skill thing that they are open there. But it's an ongoing project that's going to change lives in Uganda for years. Susie, you've been to Africa. You know how a lot of these, they say the unemployment is small, but most of the people are selling pencils on the corner, not employed in meaningful jobs.
Or coal or whatever, that's, or guavas they picked or something. It's not employment. There's no industry for them to even get a job in. Carpentry is a really good one because it's a great skill set.
So that's an overview of the project. It's a brief overview of grants. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions you have.
Jim, I think this is a great project. I've been to Uganda, I've been to Kampala, and seen the poverty, and like you were saying, that Susie was saying, seeing people selling stuff on the street. I mean, even selling a shoe, not a pair of shoes, but a shoe, whatever it takes to get by. So this is great.
Excuse me, but I'm going to mute myself because my phone is ringing.
We can't hear it. It's all right. I can't even hear it. No. The poverty in Africa is astonishing. People living in corrugated tin huts and mud huts and whatnot. So.
And Jim, we actually we adopted just to kind of share, we adopted a project for next year that we're going to be fundraising for, and the approach that we've had, just kind of sharing in case there's any opportunity for ideas and whatnot. By the way, there's no guarantee like we couldn't support something else in addition, but just again for clarification. So I have a friend of mine who lives in a rural Kenyan village, and he's looking for ways to create sustainability. He lives in Philadelphia now, and he's a good friend of mine for many years. And we've done some fundraising outside of Rotary together, he and I. And this year, our Rotary Club is going to be working with him, and we're kind of outfitting a school that is out in the middle of nowhere with no electricity, no running water, et cetera. And so we're, chipping into the concrete and pulling cables and putting electricity in a couple of classrooms. So they're going to donate a couple of projectors for the classroom, and like 70 kids to a classroom with painted blackboards on opposite ends with 2 teachers. So it's absolutely a huge need, a priority. But I'm just thinking of a couple of things. One is, how could we potentially share resources? If there's a local resource that's getting training from an outside party, is there anything that we can do to share there? Is there any opportunity for logistical support? Like if there was something that my friend could do for your effort, if there's something that he can do to help, because it's near the Uganda border. Actually, it's near the Rwanda. Anyway, I may have made a mistake there, but and then 3, to share how we're doing it. I was coming back to your financial workflow. We were planning to do basically just capitalize on his GoFundMe campaign to collect the cash with his 501c3, and then basically use all that cash to transform into the Rotary Club money, and then use that to ask for matching donations, and also go through DDF in the future. So I don't know if that makes any sense, or if there's any catches there that I may not have been aware of, but that's kind of how we were going to approach it. We didn't have a global grant. We haven't written a global grant. Maybe that's something we could do in the future, or just work with you on your project, I guess.
Yeah, well, the DDF only comes through global grants.
Oh, got it.
You
Okay.
can't just apply for global grants for a project that you're doing in Kenya. Your project sounds like a perfect one for a global grant, but you'll need a Rotary Club in Kenya and a Rotary Club like yours, friendly, or your friend's
Okay.
Rotary Club up in Philadelphia, or wherever he is in Pennsylvania. So global grants are perfect for that type of thing, but there are a lot of criteria for them. And the really key, as I mentioned, is having the host club in country. I'm sure there are strong Rotary clubs in Kenya, but Susie, have you visited any there?
No, I've never done that. I usually I get there and I'm out in the field on safari and stuff. So I've not been in, I know they have some in the countryside, but I haven't ever visited a Rotary Club there. So I have to make it a priority next time I'm there. But usually I'm trying to be on a horse somewhere, not attend a meeting.
Yeah, if you're in rural Kenya, then there may not be a local,
Right.
but that doesn't mean there isn't a club that would be willing to take it on.
Right, Nairobi, you
But you need to find one and screen it carefully, and they've got to be willing to do it. And of course, Kenya is just like Uganda. You walk out the door, there's projects everywhere you look.
everywhere. Yeah.
So as far as funding it, I mean, GoFundMe is a way to raise cash, as I understand it.
Right.
I'm not sure it will have the same draw for Rotary clubs as a global grant project does, which involves spending foundation dollars that they contributed. I mean, that's part of the Rotary. If you want the Rotary connection, I'd encourage you. Now, another thing you do is you can use your district grant funds for that. And some clubs have solicited other clubs to contribute their district grant money to a project such as you're talking about. And if your club hasn't applied for its district grant for next year, you can certainly do that. Whatever the funds are, you can use it for that. There's no restriction. You can use it for bricks, or you can use it for anything, basically. So as long as you justify you show the receipts, you can spend it for concrete. And the deadline on that is May 31st. So most clubs probably have submitted their applications, but if yours has not, or you wanted to go in and amend it to use your district grants funds, whatever they are, you can do that.
We did submit. And I misspoke. I meant to say district, not global, because there is no global grant for it. But we did submit for district. The other thing I was going to say is I have a lot of friends in a lot of circles, and I have another very good friend of many, many years. Her church in Squamish, I think that's how you say it, Washington. They've been fundraising, and they're doing well drilling in Uganda right now. And I'm just wondering if there's any opportunity to kind of, nothing to do with her church. They're obviously giving money to the local folks to manage the project and drill wells. But if there's any overlap there, maybe I can make an introduction. Like, I mean, again, ideally, maybe they just give that money to you, right? Instead of directly to the on-site. If they gave it to you, the money could be, leveraged more effectively. You could match it, et cetera. So that's one thing. And then another one is another dear friend for many, many years. He actually operates a school in Uganda, and I don't know the village, but if there was a potential for logistics, if he's got people on site that are kind of known, trusted entities, if there's any benefit to making connections, he runs a school. So like education, could be a lot of overlap, who knows?
Yeah, the key for the Rotary part is the Rotary connection. Rotarians working with Rotarians. That doesn't mean you can't work with non-Rotarians. In fact, we work with NGOs in other countries all the time. But the key is the Rotary connection, I would think. Now, you're mentioning schools. I mean, the Solar Light for Africa, that our folks, they go in. I don't know if he has electricity in the village, in the school where he teaches, but
he does, yeah.
They go into school, they go into put school solar lights in schools. I mean, no charge for them, they do it. So connections are always valuable, Sam. They never know when they're to come in handy. So sure, any connections. I don't have any that I can share this Kampala North Club with you. And if there is a project that would be, like I say, they're really sophisticated in the way they look at and evaluate their project. And this club is putting $10,000 cash in this project. Mm-hmm. To me, that's unheard of. Mm-hmm. The host clubs usually don't put much of any cash in, and this club is putting $10,000. That's a lot of money anywhere. Yeah. So it's a really happening club, and I would encourage that connection for people how they might be able to take the resources you're talking about and direct them to a project. I know Jewel had mentioned the possibility of your club participating in this project, and if you plan to do so, I do need to know. I mean, ASAP. I mean, this grant is ready to be submitted for approval. We have to get it submitted quickly because we have to get the application complete, because we have to get approval from our district for the district designated funds to be earmarked for this year. So we have to get a finished grant that our district grants committee can review and then hopefully approve the DDF. Then it's locked in, even if the grant isn't ultimately approved by the Rotary Foundation until next Rotary year, which begins July 1. So if your club is interested in participating, I'll be happy to get off the call so y'all can talk about it if you want to do it. Please let me know, because it'd be great. Great to have you. And you'd be the 10th club in our district to participate.
And Jim, did you say this is the May 31st deadline?
No, that's from what Sam said, you're already allocating your district grant funds
for the district grant.
To your school renovation project.
Right.
It's for participation in this global grant that we've been talking about.
Right. And what is the deadline we'd have to give you an answer by? Next week.
About a month ago.
No.
It was
like anything yesterday.
I keep waiting for them to say we're closed, but I haven't gotten the final. It's closed, and so I'm not going to discourage anyone until they say we can't take your money. We're closing it.
And Ailish has her hand up.
I'm sorry.
Ailish wants to ask a question.
Oh, hi, Ailish.
You're on
You're
mute,
looking mighty
Ailish.
good.
Ailish, you're on, there you go.
Sorry, okay, okay, I just wanted to say hi to Jim. I haven't seen you for years. You look great. Thank you so much for a very interesting presentation. And hopefully we'll be able to work with you at some point in the future. You're extremely knowledgeable on all of this, and it's, you know, we're learning as we go along. All of us, I think. Well, there are some experts in this, you know, like Susie, who's, you know, who knows an awful lot, and but it's been interesting.
What about
Thank
this?
you so much, Jim, and it's lovely to see you again.
Lovely to see you again, but I think you need to see your eye doctor. Just saying, you know,
Oh, you need to see my what?
your eye doctor.
Because you said he looks great. He disagrees.
Yeah.
No. I think I haven't seen you probably 10 years, and
Been a long
you
time.
haven't changed. You haven't changed a wee bit.
Bless you.
Not even a wee bit.
Bless you. Bless you. Well, thank you all. It's exciting to have this club, and it's a different type of club. It's certainly different for me, but it looks like you got a great group going. If you have any questions, text or write. I'll bid you a fond adieu unless you wish me to stay by.
No, it's always fun to have you. And it's
Thank
good
you.
to see you.
Thanks for having me,
So,
guys.
hey, where, before you leave, where does Eau Gallie meet now? I've lost track.
We're meeting at Pineapples in Eau Gallie. This is the first time in
You-
many years we've met in Eau Gallie.
Yeah, because
We've got the second floor there. We got choose from menu. You don't have to eat. It's wonderful. It's great.
nice. And you're still Tuesdays at noon, right? Is that
Correct.
correct? Okay.
Yeah, come on
And
by.
you-
It's really good.
Do you still do the crazy birthday song where if it's someone's birthday, everybody sings a completely
yes.
different tempo? And it sounds like us on Zoom trying to sing, but you guys do it intentionally. We do ours accidentally. Yeah, that was always crazy.
do.
You guys are a crazy bunch. Fun. Haven't seen her in a while. All righty.
Well, it's great to see everybody. Y'all take care. Thank you.
Thanks for joining, Jim.
Thank you.
Oh, don't
Bye-bye.
hang up. You have to turn one of us over to host. Hang on. Don't go yet. You're on mute. Let me tell you how to do that. If you try to exit, it's probably going to say make someone host.
Okay.
See what it says.
All right. Where's exit?
Well,
End.
leave down on the
Okay,
lower
so-
right.
Okay. End. Oh, it just says leave meeting. It doesn't say end meeting.
Okay, go. Do you see the icon that says participants over along the bottom? Should be on the bottom of your screen.
Doesn't say on my screen.
Maybe you have 3 dots that says more. Click on that. No.
No. I see give feedback and cancel. Let's
No.
see, but it's cancel. Oh, I do have 3 dots when I edit cancel.
Okay, so what are the 3 dots say participants?
It says breakout rooms. Let me see. Participants. I see 10 participants.
Okay, so click on that. Just click on that
I did.
icon. And
Okay.
it'll pop up a list over on your, probably on your right.
It does.
And you can pick, say, eco-friendly Rotary.Sam. And there's 3 dots. If you hover over it, there's 3 dots to the right of his name.
Gotcha. Make host.
And it should say make host. A little lesson in Zoom.
I do want to change Yeko.
Yep, he's
Well, I tell
there.
you what, I need to hire you. You seem to know this stuff, Susie.
Oh, yeah, $1,000 an hour. Yeah, there you go. All right, I'll charge former attorneys' wage rates. How about that? All right, Jim, happy to help you. All
Bye-bye.
right, take care. Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, I'm trying to figure out this.
So down on the lower right, you should see a red button that says leave.
Yeah, I had something from Elise. She wanted me to send her something.
Oh, Ailish, okay.
Judy, I wanted you to send me a short bio, if you wouldn't mind, and I've put my email there on the chat.
I think he dropped. He left the meeting. I don't see him in here anymore. I'll email him.
Okay.
I've got his email.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right,
you.
sure.
It's just good for doing the notes.
Yep, thanks for doing that. Let me see, where's his email? I'll get it. I'll email him. All right,
Thank
kids.
you.
What else is happening? Anything good?
No, I
I
don't
did
know if
register for the, before I forget, I am registered for the June 29th event at the district.
Oh, okay.
So
Awesome.
I'm going to that. I don't know if Aylish is going to be able to join me or anyone else, but I'll be down for that.
Okay.
I'm glad you mentioned it because I was just about to book tickets to go see Les Miserables in Orlando that afternoon. Oops.
Ah,
So,
Hey, and Sam, I did send out a link for those that want to register to Calgary. It's out for the early registration. The first discount runs through the 29th. So if anybody interested to go, you might want to do the early sign up. I think you got the email from me on that over the weekend.
yep. Flights are a lot shorter than
Yeah, a
Singapore,
lot shorter.
Taiwan, Sydney. Yeah.
that's worth it.
Yeah, it's super fun. And I'm not sure when Stampede is. Does anybody cross-reference that? Because I feel like
It's right.
Stampede would be something.
It's right at. I believe it's right after, like a few days after the conference, if I remember right when I looked at it.
Yeah, Stampede that's good times. I saw Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers there years ago. It was awesome. The whole town's just a buzz.
When I was living up in the Northwest, when Connie and I were in Olympia, and we had hosted exchange students in our home, one of the summer trips that they do with the kids is actually a bus trip from Washington up into British Columbia, and then over. They end up at Calgary at the Stampede. So the exchange students get a chance to go there to the Calgary Stampede, which is, of course, a phenomenal event.
Yeah, good times. Good times. Yeah, so I don't think I made myself clear, but I will send Jim some contact information. The folks that I was thinking of is like, I feel like with Rotary, the great thing that is possible that we've, I guess, tried to do here in this club, and that I've definitely done successfully in Alaska and in China, was finding folks that are just mutually aligned to good deeds and taking their money, which I think works well for us. So I think like, for example, my friend Roxy, who's been on this meeting before for different things that she's done, the idea is that if a church is fundraising, like, they're going to send a check somewhere. Why wouldn't they just send a check to you? Doesn't have to be religiously motivated. It's nothing to do with that. Just taking money from the group. And then the other one is my friend Bob. He runs a school, but they also do an agribusiness. And so, like, there's an opportunity, I think, for educational cross-pollination, right? Like, if there's an educator coming in country to do something for one school, why wouldn't they go and potentially do something for another educational organization? If they're teaching carpentry, why wouldn't they, split the bill, right? If you're going to bring in a carpenter to do some skills training, split the bill and have them go to both places, those kind of things. So I'll send those in a more coherent fashion, I guess. I'll send those in my thoughts to Jim from that context. But if there's any interest from the group, like, far be it for me to slow anything down or slow anyone down. If someone wants to give directly, we could try to get a link to give to the Eau Gallie. We can also take those donations if anybody's interested and you feel so inspired. If you say, I want to give it on behalf of the Eco-Friendly Rotary, just let me know here or an email or whatever. You can send a check in, and I'm happy to facilitate that. Actually get a check transferred over on behalf of the club to Jim's group. So let me know if there's interest.
Sam, I remember seeing some emails flying around not too long ago about we missed the midnight deadline for something to do with a grant. What was that about? I don't remember.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing. That had to do with the Great Green Wall, actually.
Oh, the Great Green Wall in Africa. Yeah.
Yeah. So Great Green Wall, and to put it back into Jim's grant cycle that he was explaining, the Great Green Wall is a Rotary global grant that exists. We did give money, or we were intending to give money to them, and then the grant money can actually come from DDF. That's what he was explaining. So we were trying to use our DDF balance to give 100% of it, which was like 562 something, directly to the Great Green Wall, just so we could make use of it. And that's the thing that we missed the deadline, because I'm not going to lie, their website's terrible, and I don't even know how to give money. Like, I don't even know how to give money to them. And I'm like,
the Great Green Wall's website is terrible, you mean?
Yeah. Like, if a random person, not a Rotary Club, who is already financially committed, a random person wants to give, I couldn't even figure that out. So it was kind of a mess.
Mm.
Anyway, but yeah, that was the thing we missed. And they actually have never responded. So they still haven't gotten back to us on how to give, but now it's too late. We could still
Use the
give, but it would just
district,
come out of our
right.
balance. It wouldn't come out of our DDF.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the other projects that are ongoing, we do have a financial commitment at the club level to give to the Kenya thing, and that is a district grant that's already been submitted. It's not really approved so much, it's just submitted. And then when the year turns over, we will do a joint marketing campaign, if you want to call it that, and we'll try to get the word out for a GoFundMe campaign that's kind of initiated by Silas and his community. And then we'll just either give individually to that, which is all going to come back to the club. So Silas is going to collect the funds, basically write a check to us, and then we'll write a check to the district. The district will write a check to us to double the money, and then bam, we're good to go. It's just that simple. I'm kidding. It's not simple at all, but it is what it is, right? If somebody wants to double your money, you can't complain about how the hoops you got to jump through. You just do it. So that's our status. And if anybody's so inclined to give, or you think that this group, this club should give, please voice those concerns. We can put those on the agenda for the board meeting, because there are financial implications. That has to be a board decision to give. But that's how these things happen organically. So if anybody's moved by Jim's efforts and you want to make that an official thing from our club, we can do that. Again, if you just want to give on behalf of the club right this second, let me know. Do a Venmo, write a check, whatever, and we can pass that through on behalf of the club. And thank you so much. All right. I don't have anything else to share, but that's hopefully beneficial.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Well, shall we wrap up? Anybody else want to hang out? I guess we can bring the meeting to a close officially now. And anybody who needs to drop off can. If you want to hang out and socialize, we can as well. That sounds good.
Well, I'm a queen of socializing, but I have a million things to do. So, and I still need to get our newsletter done for this week, which I may not get to actually. So I keep hoping you guys will fire me, but I'm not going to get that lucky. So,
No, you're not.
Anyway, but I will tell you, in 2019, I said, I'm going to slow down and quit doing so many things. And I said, this is the year Susie says no. Well, apparently I wasn't specific enough, because I think it was the year that Susie says no problem. And it just continues to fill up my calendar. So anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to drop. You all have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.
And here.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care,
Thanks,
everybody.
Have a good
everybody.
week.
Thanks,
Bye
everybody.
now.
Bye.
Thank you.